Hey guys, what's going on? Zazubaar here, and I just want to apologize for the lack of videos I have been putting up for the past about month and a half. Actually longer than that. This has been an ongoing problem for several months now, as not putting up enough stuff that's just Zazubaar content. I haven't done this for a while, and I think what's been going on is I've been posting a lot of stuff that's connected to SOS. I've been posting tons of SOS stuff. Well, not tons, really just the normal amount. Every other week I put up SOS, and every week I put up DFOS. And then the past week, or the past couple weeks, I've been putting up the road trip to G-Fest stuff, that little mini-series we did. But even that's part of SOS. And I get a lot of messages and comments from people who comment on some of my solo stuff and some of the stuff I work on that's not SOS connected. And I get people, asking me, oh, when are you going to do reviews and stuff? Can you do this? Can you review this? Can you do something like this? And I want to do it. I really do. And there are so many things I want to do in the upcoming future, in the not-too-distant future, way down in Deep 13, that are not really SOS projects. And I want to do them as solo series, reviews and stuff. I want to get back into reviewing. I miss it so much. But I've been devoting so much time and energy to... The G-Fest thing was a major, major project and a major, major thing to get done. And I hope you guys all enjoyed the videos I put up for it. But really, the reason why there hasn't been a lot of content for the past couple months is because I have been working my ass off to make that happen. And I'm really proud of the way it came out, and I was also really happy with the trip. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the videos that came out of it. The Road Trip to G-Fest mini-series, which you can see all of chronologically in a playlist that Dylan McCandless, Super DM64, has made on his channel. I should make one for my channel too. I don't know why I haven't. Or maybe I'll just post the link to Dylan's playlist on my channel, so you can find it pretty easily. So either go to Dylan's channel, or hopefully by the time this goes up, I'll have put the playlist here as well. And you can watch all those videos, and again, I hope you enjoy them. But that really hindered my ability to do solo reviews just because of time constraints, because I just didn't have the time or the energy to sit down and do reviews of stuff, because I was constantly working to get money to go to G-Fest with, or I was devoting my time to SOS stuff, because that kind of took precedent, because that stuff has a regular schedule, and also it's stuff that just, required my attention more quickly. For instance, and I should probably say what this video is before I continue to bitch about how much my life sucks, which I really don't want this to be. That's just sad and really not what I want this to be. This is going to be an update video, because I know people have been asking, and also I've been maddened with trying to figure out what I want my next stuff to be. Because I ended up wanting to do a lot of things and not doing them because I just don't sit down and say I'm going to do them. So something I think will be really cool, I want to do it, I have plans for it, and I almost make it happen, and then it doesn't happen, and nobody ever knows about it. And then I'll bring it up at some point down the line, and people will go, oh my god, that was so cool, you should have done that. So I'm going to tell you what I want to do, and if I put it on the wax, and then put it up on YouTube for you guys to see, hopefully that'll make me do it, because I'll have you guys to answer to if I don't do it. But also, my own voice will be there to kind of say, it's evidence that I said I was going to do it. And this hasn't always helped me in the past. I mean, there are lots of projects I've given up on, so who knows how well this will work, but it's better than just letting it rattle around and die in my brain, which a lot of stuff tends to do these days. But anyway, let's start off with, since this is an update video, this is just going to be me telling you guys what's coming in the not too distant future, what's upcoming. Upcoming projects from me, Zazubaar. And yes, I'm going to include SOS stuff, even though this gets covered constantly on SOS. I'm going to bring it up here anyway, so that way it all kind of works into one beautiful little schedule of stuff that will be posted on the Zazubaar channel. So anything that's not posted on this channel, like Shoe Watch, and Dylan stuff and Adam stuff, that's all theirs. And they'll work on that as time goes on. This is just my stuff right now, and stuff that I'm posting and stuff that I have to work on alone or with those guys, but I have to be the editor for and the poster for. So that's the stuff I'm going to get into right now. So here is the schedule, kind of of what's upcoming in on the Zazubaar channel, what you can expect to see from me in the next, let's say, 4 months. Because there's a lot here, and a lot of it is ongoing stuff. And so, I mean, some of it's just one-and-done stuff like reviews, but there is some ongoing stuff that'll take time and effort. So let's get into that now. Let's start off with, I was going to start off with Godzilla Odyssey, but let's start off actually with something that should have happened already, but hasn't because I've changed my mind about it. So the first thing I want to mention, and this is the only thing I'm going to say out of chronological order, is my spoiler review of Godzilla 2014. I know that if you go back and listen to my reviews of both my non-spoiler review of the movie and of my review of Godzilla Awakening, one of the big things I say in those videos is I'm going to try and avoid spoilers because I'm going to do a full spoiler analysis. I'm going to do it in like a week. And it never happened. And here's why. It wasn't because I didn't want to do it. I was dying to do it. But by the time I wanted to do it, I had already done basically 3 spoiler reviews for the movie. None of them by myself, but I had done them. And by the time I got to that point, I was like, at this point, if I do it again, it's just going to be me regurgitating things I've said in those videos and expounding upon them and making the video way too long. I did a spoiler review on Geeky Gentleman, I did a spoiler review on Adam's channel, I did a semblance of a spoiler review when I did my interview with Planet Kaiju Radio, which you can listen to now on Groove Shark. I know I never announced that anywhere, but I did an interview with a group of Kaiju fans online called Planet Kaiju Radio, which you can listen to now on a website called Groove Shark. If you just look up Zazubaar, it'll pop up. And you can listen to that there, in which a lot of the conversation was about Godzilla 2014, because that had just come out when we did that interview. So you can listen to that there, and that was in and of itself a spoiler review, because we talked about that movie for like a half hour. So listen to that there. So here's the plan. I am still going to do it. It's something I have to do, because I can't not do a full-on, in-detail spoiler review of Godzilla 2014, because it's against my biological nature. I have to do it. I have made a vow to myself to review everything Godzilla-related, because that's just what I do. And it's the biggest Godzilla thing that's come out in years, and I haven't done a spoiler review yet. And here's why. Because of what I just said about doing all those spoiler reviews with other people when the movie came out, I didn't want to just regurgitate myself, so here's what I'm doing. The DVD is coming out in about 2 months from the time of this recording. It's coming out on September 16th, 2014. Now, I'm not sure if that includes the supposed extended cut we're getting, because I've heard that we're supposed to be getting an extended director's cut. But I haven't been able to find anything saying whether or not that's included in this or if that's a later release. I'm really hoping that they're all on one day and I can get them all at once, because I want to see how different it is and if I have to do 2 reviews for it. Because if it's really different, I'm going to do 2 separate reviews. But if it's just kind of the movie with a couple extra scenes in it, I'll just review the movie and then get into those scenes and explain the whole thing in one video. And it'll make it even longer, and I'll ramble more and more, just like I'm doing right now. So we'll see what happens when we get there. But and this is something I've had quite a few people ask me about, so I'm going to clarify this now. When I did Gammarapalooza, I did it with the express understanding that when this new movie came out, I would do what's called an addendum to Godzillapalooza to include this to the catalog of reviewing every single Godzilla movie ever made. So I'm going to do it, but I want to wait for the DVD to come out, because it seems weird to me to do a full-on analysis, incredibly in-detail review, especially in the style of like I did with every other Godzilla movie in Godzillapalooza. It seems unfair to 2014 to not do the same thing. To sit down with it in my own home, watch it as many times as I want, freeze frame, listen to commentaries, do all the stuff I did for the other movies, and not do that with 2014. That seems unfair, and I don't want to be unfair, and also I think it's going to make for a more entertaining review to have the DVD, because I'll be able to get into more detail with things, because I'll remember them better. And not have to run out to the theater a million times to go see it again. So that's the plan. Is to wait till the DVD comes out, and then do the Godzillapalooza addendum and review Godzilla 2014 in all my spoilerific, overly in detail glory. So you can expect that review sometime after September 16th. I don't have a date yet because I don't know how long the review is going to take me to make once I get my hands on the DVD. So we'll see. But I'm going to say late September. I don't imagine it'll go into early October because I have other plans for October. So expect that review sometime in late September. I'm sorry it's going to take a while, but that's just when the DVD comes out, and as I explained just now, it kind of necessitates me waiting for that. So apologies for that taking a while. It's actually not my fault, which is nice. So I'll review that as soon as I can in the manner in which I just stated. So we'll get to that at some point. So with that out of the way, that's the one thing that I was supposed to do sooner, but I'm going to end up doing later, so that's why I felt the need to announce that first. Now let's go chronologically. Everything I want to do in the upcoming future, chronologically, when it's going to happen and what it's going to entail. So let's begin. So first things first. One of the biggest things I've been putting a lot of my energy into, and Dylan's been putting a lot of his energy into. Those who just listen to my solo stuff, well, you don't have a lot to listen to these days, so I doubt there's very many of you. But Dylan is of course Super DM64, who I do Demons from Outer Space with, and also he's an SOS member and he's on the SOS podcast. We're doing a fan fiction series together, a Godzilla fan fiction series called Godzilla Odyssey. I don't know if you guys haven't heard about this on DFOS or SOS, and this is the first you're hearing of it. Basically, it's a fan fiction series he and I are doing where the premise is, we did a whole episode of DFOS about this, where and we came up with the idea on recording. The idea is to do a story about a version of Godzilla that and do our own version of Godzilla. Have him be hit by the Dimension-Tide weapon, the black hole gun from Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, and have him bouncing around different dimensions. And by doing this, it gives you a perfect device to go in and have Godzilla cross over with whoever or whatever the hell you want. You can do anything. You can cross Godzilla over with any property, and we have a whole list of what we're going to do. Expect more details on the ins and outs of this to come out in the next couple weeks as the series gets closer to starting to release. So that's the plan. And that's the story we're doing. So if that interests you, I hope you're excited for Godzilla Odyssey. I'm really excited about it. We've been putting a lot of work into it. It's going to go up on fanfiction.net, which may be like weird for some people because that's where, there's a lot of stuff there and not all of it's good. But we want this to kind of be presented. The whole idea of this is to present Godzilla Odyssey as is kind of like, what if let's say IDW, because they have the current Godzilla license in comics, did a mini-series about Godzilla doing this very thing, bouncing around from different dimensions, crossing over with different properties. So because of that, we've decided to write it in the style and release it like a comic book series. We're going to do it issue by issue. We're going to keep it to about a 20 to 25 page count, though some of them may be under or over that depending. So it looks like the first issue is going to be a little bit over that because it's we won't get into it now, but it's a little complicated. And as the premise would probably entail, so it's going to come out monthly, and each month will be a different crossover and a little story, but there'll be a running story going through it of Godzilla's journey throughout all of reality, and an ongoing narrative and ongoing characters and an ongoing villain, which I won't spoil for you here. So please, when it finally happens, please follow Godzilla Odyssey, because we're putting so much work into it, and I actually think it's turning out very, very good, and it's really, really interesting. So please follow that once it starts. Of course, there'll be a slew of videos and posts on Facebook and Twitter, informing you guys about that. So this is just kind of the initial. Godzilla Odyssey is kind of the first thing that's going to come up in the upcoming future. Aside from the normal podcasts and reviews and everything from us and from me. So look out for more information on that in the near future. So Godzilla Odyssey is something that's going to start in the near future and continue on for a while. So look out for that soon. So what's next? So that's Godzilla Odyssey. Again, more information on that coming when it's about to be released, but that's coming soon. It's kind of the next big thing we're doing. Soon after that, these are just a couple of small things that we're gonna do in the coming week or so. So these are just two smaller things, so I'll throw them out quickly. One of them being, I'm planning on doing 2 reviews in the coming week that'll go up, as one of them being a solo review and one of them being a group review with Dylan and Andres. The first thing I'm recording, I'm not sure when I'm going to upload it, is a review of the fan series Red vs. Blue, which is a Machinima series, not made by Machinima, but it's a Machinima style series. It's actually made by Rooster Teeth. And it's kind of the classic, ideal Machinima series of taking gameplay footage from a game and telling a story with it, usually doing it as a parody. Red vs. Blue is kind of the first one that did that, and one of the best, and also one of the most important. So I've recently gotten into Red vs. Blue and become a fan of it. So I have decided to do that because I want to review that because I have a lot to say about it, and I'm planning on doing that soon. I'm planning on only doing the first 5 seasons, the Blood Gulch Chronicles as they're called, because those are the only seasons that are on Netflix, which is where I watched it, and I've watched past that. I'm actually up to season 9 right now. But that was the one that those first 5 seasons are the ones that really struck me. So we're gonna start there and then move on. And do the first 5 seasons as one video, and then somewhere down the line I'll maybe do the other. I guess it's the other 5 seasons, 6 to 11, which is what they're up to now. I don't know if they're going to continue. I'm not following it currently yet, so I'm not sure. So we'll see about that when it comes. So look out for my review of Red vs. Blue, the Blood Gulch Chronicles, coming hopefully within the next few days. So look out for that. Next up after that is I'm planning on uploading the group review with Dylan and Andres of Godzilla Rulers of Earth Volume 3, which came out I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's not that old yet, but I don't want to wait as long as I waited for Volume 2, and waited like a full 2 months to do that review. So we're gonna do this ASAP. We're bringing Dylan on because, the first one I did by myself, then I brought Andres on, and then I brought Dylan, and then now we're gonna bring Dylan on. And the reason why, we'll get into it in the video, but because we experienced that book together, and there's a couple funny stories we're gonna tell regarding our experiences with that book, because the first time we read it was on the G-Fest road trip, which was very fitting. So we're going to review that together and get into all the nitty-gritty details about how fucking awesome it is when we get there. So look out for that. Coming, like the Red vs. Blue review, hopefully coming in the next few days. So look out for that, our review of Godzilla Rulers of Earth Volume 3. In a similar wheelhouse, this is not a solo video. This is going to be an SOS thing. But coming so again, hopefully that review is going to come up within the next week or so. This thing is a bigger thing. This is a bigger project. So the next big thing coming up after that, and this is going to be something that's going to happen in August, is the Sons of Serizawa podcast is going to be celebrating its 1-year anniversary. It's 1 year since we started that show. So we're planning on doing a big special thing for that. As an SOS 1-year anniversary video. So I won't get into what exactly we're gonna do because I want it to be a surprise, kind of like Godzilla Odyssey. And expect more videos to come up about that as it gets closer. But it's gonna be a big, huge celebration of 1 year of that show and 1 year of starting the podcasting network we now have on YouTube between the 5 of us, with SOS, DFOS, and Shoewatch. So look out for that. That's gonna go up. I don't know exactly the date of when SOS celebrates its 1-year anniversary. I know it's in August. I'm just not sure when. That probably would have been useful to look up. But that'll go up when that show turns 1 year. Maybe not on the day, but although I'd like it to do that, to go up on the day, but it's unlikely So we're going to put that up as close to 1 year as possible. When does SOS turn? Sorry for the background noise. I'm actually looking it up right now. Ooh, it's actually closer than I suspected. August 6th is the first time we uploaded SOS. Based on how things are going, it's probably not going to go up at that exact date, but hopefully it'll go up somewhere hovering around there. So look out for that when it comes. SOS 1 year anniversary is the next thing. We're going to do that in early August. Along with that, we're going to insert some new status quo changing SOS stuff, including hopefully a new intro and a couple of other little things for the other shows as well in the group. So look out for that. So the SOS 1 year anniversary coming in about 2 weeks. So look out for that. I didn't realize it was that soon. Shit. Fuck. But look out for that. What's next? Ooh, okay, this is big. This is probably going to be a shock to people because I haven't announced this anywhere else yet. This is the first place. This is an exclusive, which isn't really that impressive because I came up with it. So, I'm reporting my own exclusive. How arrogant is that? So coming up after the SOS 1 year anniversary, I'm going to be doing. This is going to be a solo thing. I'm going to be embarking on another review series. Well, actually two. One of them is going to be sequential, and the other one is going to be ongoing. So there's 2 review series coming up. Hopefully both of them are going to start at the same time, but they won't be going together because one of them will be sequential and the other one will be ongoing for as long as it takes me to do it. So let's announce the sequential one first, because I'm actually a little bit more excited about this one. And it's something I've talked about doing for a while, so I might as well say that one first. So something that's going to be produced in August, but probably not go up until September, is going to be a new Palooza review series. I've done Godzilla Palooza. I tried to do Bondapalooza and never did it. I'm planning on finally doing that at some point, but I'm just not sure when and how or any of the details, so I'm not even going to bring that up on this list because I don't know when or if it's even going to happen still. But I would like to do it, I'm just not sure when and how. Because Bond is a Godzilla-like series. It's fucking long and complicated, so I need a lot of time and energy to do that. But the next Palooza I'm doing, because it's more manageable, it's a shorter film series and one that's very much so in line with Godzilla. I am going to be doing Gammarapalooza. I'm a pretty big Gamera fan. Of course, I'm a giant kaiju fan, so it seems only natural that I should get into all of the Gamera films. His film series doesn't even come close to rivaling the length of Godzilla's series, and in many cases the quality. Except for 3 very big exceptions, and we'll get into that when we do that series. It's a shorter. There's only 12 Gamera movies. It's a shorter series, and he too is about to have a reboot in about a year. So it's kind of fitting that we're going to do that before that comes out. So I'll have to do an addendum to that series too once that movie comes out. So the plan is to do all 12 Gamera movies, just like I did Godzilla Palooza. Do it one day. A review goes up every day until we're done. This one's a little bit messier because it's not. The beautiful thing about doing Godzilla is that Godzilla has. The beautiful thing about doing Godzilla is that there's 30 movies, so you've got slots to fill each day of a month, so it kind of fits into a nice little package of doing a whole month of Godzilla. With Gamera, there's only 12 movies, so that's messier because it's like, when do you start it? Do you start at the middle and go to the end? Start at the beginning and go until you're done? So I'm not quite sure when I'm going to start posting those yet, but the plan is I want to actually record those and get those done first, and then put them up one a day and do it all nice and cleanly, unlike Godzilla Palooza, which got a little down and dirty once I started posting a video recording a video the day before, putting it up the next day. That was hard. Hopefully that won't happen with Gamera. It's less likely because there's only 12 movies, so That one, again, more to announce on that once it's more of a concrete thing of when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen in September. I'm just not sure on when it's going to start and when it's going to finish. So Gammarapalooza is the next big palooza coming from Zazubaar, so hopefully everybody will be very excited. I'm certainly excited to do full-on analyses of those films, and also, you know, Gamera is a strange beast, just as the Japanese word kaiju implies. Because he's a character who I've always been familiar with and always been a fan of for the most part, but he's, unlike Godzilla, I love Godzilla no matter what. I'm an unquestionable Godzilla fan. No matter what happens, I will be there and I will probably love it. With Gamera, it's different because I'm a fan of what I'm a fan of, and everything else I can either take or leave. And if you know me, you probably know what I'm a really big fan of and what I can take and leave. But we'll get into more of that when we do the series. So it's going to be interesting to do reviews of the stuff that I don't like or that I'm not really passionate about. But not that will affect my reviews at all. I'm planning on giving just as much care and attention as Godzilla Palooza. It's just going to be a little more interesting because I don't have quite the kind of romantic stuff, and by romantic I don't mean like kissy love stuff. I mean like, you know, romantic as in rose-colored glasses, looking at it kind of subjective or more subjectively with Gamera than I do with Godzilla, because I have nostalgia for every single Godzilla movie. With Gamera, I have nostalgia for like 4. No, that's unfair. More like 5. Forgot about Gauss. The first Gauss movie. So we'll get into that when we do that series, but that should be interesting, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you guys will join me on that journey, just like you've joined me for Godzilla Palooza, for G-Fest, when I did the Jurassic Park reviews, which got taken down because of fucking copyright, and I'm hoping to repost those at some point. I'm just not sure how to fix the opening. I'm not sure what I'm gonna use, but those will go up, hopefully at some point, all fixed and stuff, so look out for that. So look out for Gammarapalooza coming this September, definitely early September, like September 1st, the first one will go up. That would be nice to start that right as I'm starting college, because I'll have those reviews done, and I can just post them, and just go to school every day, let them get up on YouTube, and then you guys can respond to them while I'm learning. So hopefully that'll go well. So Gammarapalooza, I think we only have really one more thing. Yeah, really one more thing to get into. Because I know I mentioned I'm doing something in October earlier. I'm gonna hang on to that for now because it's, you know, that's really in the future. So I'm not really sure. I don't have any real concrete details regarding that at all, except that it's most likely going to happen. So I'll hang on to that for now for you guys. The last big thing I want to announce in terms of updating is an ongoing series I'm planning on doing. I haven't done one of these in a while outside of the podcasts, and usually they turn out to be utter failures for me, but I'm gonna hopefully this one won't be that way. Hopefully I won't just stop doing it and never give it a proper finale. Ladies and gentlemen, I am planning on doing house reviews. No, I'm not planning on reviewing houses. Don't be an idiot. No. I'm planning on doing reviews, episodic reviews, of each and every episode of the television series House MD, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Something that I just binge-watched on Netflix recently, something I'm very, very familiar with now. Something I've always been a fan of, but never saw all of it. Now I've seen all of it, so I'm really, really familiar with it now. And I'm planning on doing reviews of the whole entire series, episode by episode, coming soon. The big inspirations for doing this was I'm a really big fan of Captain Logan's series on Geekvolution, Counting Cryptofreaks, and in which he takes episode by episode looks at the show Smallville. Now I like House more than he likes Smallville, at least as far as I've gleaned from his reviews. Since I think House is, you know, a good show. But I'm planning on doing episode by episode reviews of that show, just in the same way as he did for Smallville. And in fact, I'm hoping to have some kind of a catchy name for it. That's not just house reviews, because that sounds kind of blatant and kind of just bleh. But I'm not sure. We'll see. So right now the working title is just house reviews. I'm hoping on starting that in mid-August, and I'm putting up a couple of them in a... I'm planning on producing just a bunch of them at once, and then putting them up every now and then, like every couple weeks, maybe twice a month. I'm not sure. But I'm hoping on making that an ongoing thing, not give it a schedule because it'll never abide by that schedule. So I'm planning on just kind of doing it when I can, and producing a couple of them and putting them up slowly, so that way there's never like a total drought for like 3 months. And I'll get done with. There'll be a foreseeable end for that. I'm just not sure when. There's 177 episodes and 8 seasons of House, so who knows? But that's going to start in mid-August. I'm actually kind of hoping to do those as scripted reviews, mainly because I haven't done one of those in a while, and that would be something that would probably be easier to do scripted than it would be to just do it like I do everything else and just do it off the cuff. But again, we'll see. I don't have the concrete plan for that yet. That will happen when it happens. So mid-August will probably be the beginning of the house reviews. So I think that's it for now. This was a half-hour video, my usual rambly self. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I haven't done it in a while, so I actually kind of enjoyed it. But anyway, so that's my update for now. That's Zazubaar's upcoming future filled with projects, reviews, and podcasts, and all that great stuff. So I hope you guys are just as excited about it as I am. It sounded sarcastic. I didn't mean it to be sarcastic. I am actually excited. So I hope you guys will enjoy all this stuff I have planned for you. I certainly plan on enjoying it. Yeah, so thank you very much for listening. Until next time, I hope you guys will join me for all these projects. I am Zazubaar, and I will see you in the not-too-distant future, way down there in Deep 13. Bye-bye, kids.